The political landscape has been very heated ever since the passing, maybe the demise of Dr. Saulos Chilima. And right now, with the upcoming elections, so many things are popping up, so many things are coming up, and people are on their toes, people are in their emotions. And Malawians, most of them, especially on the UTM side, they are ready to do some things if there is actually a spark that can light up the bonfire. And I want us to look at the story about Patricia Kiati that just came up recently. And I want us to analyze to say, how should we respond to this? And what should we be doing as believers, especially with the upcoming elections looming? So before we get into that, I want you to like the video, I want you to subscribe to the channel, and I want you to leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us get into this. There was a breaking news that hit the airwaves about a few days ago about Patricia Kiati. She was accused of conspiring to actually assassinate the president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. And in my mind, I couldn't believe what I heard, because this is not something that happens in our nation, Malawi. This is not something that is common where I come from, okay? And I was really shocked to hear such a thing. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. The courts will have to help us go through the process of proving the innocence or maybe the guilt of Patricia Kiati. But I want us to go through the accusation and how it came about. And then I want us to analyze exactly some of the things that were said. Of course, not everything has been released because it's evidential. It's something that is being held as evidence by the law enforcement. Until a court case has started to unravel, that's when we can come up with maybe a good understanding of exactly what went on and how they came to a place of actually deploying police officers to go and arrest her. Of course, I heard that now she's on bail, but still the court case has to happen. We'll see if the government actually comes up with a lawsuit against her or not. So we'll see. But I came across this post from Malawi Post, and I want us to go through it, and then I'll give you my thoughts, especially as believers. How do we respond to this? Let's go through the Malawi Post. The title of this post was, "What exactly UTM Secretary General Patricia Kiati has committed to warrant arrest?" Okay, so as accomplices are said to be on the run, Blantyre, Malawi Post, in a shocking turn of events, Patricia Kiati, a prominent and controversial figure within the UTM party, was arrested on Thursday, October 24th, for her alleged involvement in a plot to assassinate Malawi's president, Lazarus Chakwera. This alarming development has sent ripples through the political landscape as details of the conspiracy come to light. The incident has further highlighted Kaliati's propensity to nefarious mindset of seeking to overthrow government through criminal endeavors. So this is a post that someone did that was included in the Malawi Post. Someone said, this is Idris Nasa, I'm not sure who he is yet, but they are saying, she said, Bola anakasowa uyu, osati watuja. So they are referring to Dr. Saulos Chilima. They said it's better if President Lazarus Chakwera was the one who disappeared and not Dr. Saulos Chilima. This is actually allegedly what she said, okay? And then she said to have asked the person on the other end of the phone, so this was another comment that she said. It says, can you find witches who can help us cause his plane to disappear? Meaning Dr. Lazarus Chakwera's plane. Of course, some things are not nice to say, but whether this or the totality of what she said, as she's said to have said in the recordings, will rise to the threshold being sought by the prosecution remains to be seen. That's how this post by this person named Idris was concluded. Now, the post continues to say, while serving as a Minister of Information, Kaliati was also in the forefront of what was named the Midnight Six, a gang of the then minister who wanted to hijack the presidency from the then Vice President Dr. Joyce Banda, following the sudden death of then President Bingu Mutharika in 2012. The plot to assassinate the president. According to the insider information obtained this publication, but Kaliati was reportedly collaborating with 4 unidentified individuals to execute the heinous plan against the president. Unbeknownst to the conspirators, one member of the group was covertly recording their discussion, capturing incriminating evidence that ultimately led to the swift intervention by law enforcement authorities. So as they were discussing this plot and planning how to do it, somebody in their midst was actually recording whatever was going on and then sent it to the law enforcement. So they had a traitor in their midst and they didn't really know. Okay, ongoing manhunt. As of now, Kaliati's accomplices remain at large, triggering a massive manhunt by the police to locate and detain the individuals involved in this chilling conspiracy. Authorities have not disclosed the identities of these fugitives as the investigation is still in its early stages. Kaliati was also arrested on the offense of conspiring to commit a felon is yet to be formally charged for court appearance, with more charges expected as the investigation unfolds. Political analysts suggest that her arrest could have significant implications for the UTM party, already facing doldrums over internal conflicts. The arrest has elicited a wide range of reactions from both the political sphere and the public. Many are calling for thorough investigations to root out potential networks of conspiracy within the government. This incident threatens to exacerbate existing tensions in Malawi's political arena, reigniting debates about safety protocols of high-ranking officials. Kaliati spent weekend in police custody waiting for formal charges on Monday in the court. So this is Thursday, okay? Now, I want you to understand something. The reason why this is so significant is because after the passing of Dr. Saulos Chilima, when the plane crashed, so many people heard so many accusations against the president, Dr. Lazarus Chakwera. In one of my videos, when this thing happened, I said that I was listening to the radio and there were so many people at the body unveiling of Dr. Saulos Chilima who were speaking in the face of the president. While he's seated there, they began to hurl accusations to him right there, insulting him, calling him every name in the book. That is something that can only happen in Malawi. But it was happening right there because people were angry, and understandably so. But they were accusing the president as if he was one of the people who actually committed the crime, who actually committed, maybe conspired to take out Saulos Chilima, when there is no evidence to actually suggest such a thing. But no, people were angry and they wanted to accuse somebody, and Chakwera was the person to accuse. I don't know if this is true or not. I'm just saying there is no evidence for this, and there is no basis or foundation for people's accusations, but people were angry. And so when you see that Kaliati also has been arrested, it adds fuel to the fire. It adds to the perspective of the people who actually have something against Chakwera already. So they're actually saying this is a politically motivated move by the president. It's as if Chakwera is the one who sent the authorities to go and arrest Patricia Kiati, not knowing that sometimes the law enforcement can act on their own volition. But of course, I don't know what is going on behind the scenes. What I'm saying is that if the police officers have evidence concerning this, then we'll see what will happen in the courts. My point of this video is for me to call upon believers to begin to really take seriously what is coming ahead of us. I want us to begin to pray for our nation. Take your time to put the elections that are coming up in prayer. Take your time to pray for these parties. We don't want to see a nation where people are just acting out of emotion without engaging their brains. We don't want to see another repetition of those demonstrations that happened in the north, the time when so many civilians were killed by the police at gunpoint. We lived through those as northerners. We lived through the chaos that happened towards the end of Peter Mutharika's reign in Malawi. We lived through the corruption and the looting and all those bad things that were happening. We don't want to get to a place where people are acting out of emotion. We want to have a nation that is more civilized, a nation that can think through things, a nation that can stand and really intercede for their government, a nation that can criticize the government where they need to be criticized, but at the same time be able to think through things if evidence is proving whatever their predispositions were wrong. Okay? So it's really important that people are able to think through things. But this cannot happen if we don't pray. Because sometimes the influences that are causing people to react emotionally to things may be beyond our human control. That's why we engage the spiritual, no matter what. I don't know who is right or wrong. I'm telling you. And the vote that you're going to cast in next year's election is very important. And this is actually parallel to what is going on in the USA. So much tension is there as well. The elections there are so pivotal because so many things are going on. The state of their nation is under threat. If they choose the wrong candidate there, their nation will go into chaos. I'm telling you right now. The same thing in Malawi. If we do not approach this election with care, if people just act out of emotion, if people continue to point fingers, if UTM is pointing fingers at MCP, MCP is pointing fingers at UTM, and DPP is just continuing to cause division, things will not go well. That's why we need to pray. That's why we need to keep our nation in prayer. We need to keep even our president in prayer, whether you agree with him or not. The Bible tells us to pray for our leaders. We need him to continue to lead this country in a sober way. If he's going to lose power, then he should step out in the right way. If he maintains power, we should continue to pray for him because he's not going to be safe as well. So we need to really keep everything in prayer. Do not undermine the role of your intercession. That's what I wanted us to understand here today. We don't know how this Kaliati story is going to end. But one thing we know is that if we don't pray, if my people who are called by my name do not pray, the land will not be healed. So we have to call upon God so that he can hear from heaven and heal our land. We don't want these emotional things going on. We need people's hearts to be healed and for our nation to move in the right direction. Let me know what your thoughts are. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, have a good one.